Jai Hind children, hope you are all fine. Welcome to another section of chemistry flip class. We are now dealing with chapter 1, chemical reactions and equation. And until last class we have studied about 4 different types of chemical reaction. So many students have completed their notes and homework and have submitted. We are very happy with that. Please continue this. Today we are going to study about another type of reaction, that is redox reaction. Before studying about redox reactions, we have to first know what is oxidation and what is reduction. Let us check. First one, oxidation reaction. So what is oxidation? Oxidation can be defined as addition of oxygen. Any reaction in which an addition of oxygen takes place to an element, that is called a oxidation. And oxidation is also can be defined as removal of hydrogen. So oxidation can be defined either as addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Similarly, reduction. Reduction is the opposite process of oxidation. So addition of oxygen is called oxidation. Similarly, removal of oxygen is called a reduction. So oxidation and reduction are opposite process. When oxidation is addition of oxygen, reduction is the removal of oxygen. Similarly, oxidation is the removal of hydrogen and reduction is the addition of hydrogen. Please don't get confused. Oxidation and reduction are opposite process. So, oxidation means addition of oxygen and reduction means removal of oxygen. Or oxidation is also defined as removal of hydrogen and reduction is the addition of hydrogen. The more higher concept you will learn in 11th standard. Now, for the time being, you need to understand only these two definitions. So, addition of oxygen is called oxidation and removal of oxygen is called a reduction. So, in your textbook, the first activity given is heating. Copper is a brown colored element. This on heating. Heating means reaction with oxygen changes to a black colored copper oxide. So copper is a brown colored element that on heating combines with oxygen to form copper oxide, that is black in color. Here in this equation, copper changes to copper oxide. That means an oxygen atom is added to copper. That is, copper is getting oxidized. So what is oxidation? The addition of oxygen can be defined as oxidation. Then copper is converted to copper oxide. That means an oxygen atom is added to copper so that copper undergo oxidation. So addition of oxygen is called oxidation. Now, if we are adding hydrogen to copper oxide, the reverse reaction will take place. If we are adding hydrogen to copper oxide, the reverse reaction will take place. That means copper oxide, when hydrogen is added to copper oxide, it again changes to element copper and along with the formation of water, H2O. So the reverse reaction takes place by the addition of hydrogen. Here in this equation you can see that the copper oxide which is present on the reactant side changes to element copper. That means oxygen atom is removed from copper. When the removal of oxygen is called as reduction. Therefore, in the second example, from the copper oxide, oxygen is removed to form copper. Removal of oxygen is called a reduction. So here in this equation, copper oxide undergo reduction to form copper. Similarly, hydrogen on the reactant side changes to H2O. That means an oxygen atom is added to hydrogen. Therefore, hydrogen undergo oxidation. So, in this example, both oxidation and reduction are taking place in a single reaction. Both oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously in a single reaction. Such type of reactions in which both oxidation and reduction take place are called redox reactions. So, what are redox reactions? Those chemical reactions in which both oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously are called a redox reaction. In redox reaction, one of the substance undergo oxidation and the another undergo reduction. So here in this example, copper oxide changes to copper, therefore it is undergoing reduction. Hydrogen changes to H2O, therefore it is undergoing oxidation. So overall this reaction can be called as redox reaction. So from the equation you will understand which is undergoing oxidation and which is undergoing reduction. Along with that we have to study about oxidizing agent and reducing agent. The element or compound which helps for oxidation is called an oxidizing agent. And the element or compound which helps for reduction is called a reducing agent. Here, copper oxide is undergoing reduction. That is, copper oxide is helping hydrogen for oxidation, or the material or the compound which is undergoing reduction is called a oxidizing agent. Understand? The compound or the element that is undergoing reduction is called a oxidizing agent. Therefore, the oxidizing agent in this equation is copper oxide, because copper oxide is undergoing reduction. So, the compound undergoing reduction, that is the oxidizing agent. Therefore, oxidizing agent is copper oxide. Similarly, hydrogen is undergoing oxidation. Therefore, hydrogen is the reducing agent. Hydrogen is undergoing oxidation. Therefore, hydrogen is the reducing agent. Therefore, the reducing agent in this redox equation is hydrogen. So, don't get confused here. The material, the compound that is undergoing reduction is called the oxidizing agent, and the one which is undergoing oxidation is called the reducing agent. Okay. Now, let us take another example. Example 3. Zinc oxide combines with carbon to form zinc and carbon monoxide. Here also you can see zinc oxide changes to zinc. Oxygen is removed. Oxygen is removed. The process is called a reduction. Carbon changes to carbon monoxide. That is, oxygen is added. Oxygen is added. The process is oxidation. So both oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously. Therefore, this is also an example for redox reaction. Here, zinc oxide is undergoing reduction. Therefore, the oxidizing agent is zinc oxide. And carbon is undergoing oxidation. Therefore, the reducing agent is carbon. Similarly, now in the fourth example, magnesium oxide and hydrogen chloride combine to form magnesium chloride, water and chlorine. Here also you can see oxygen is removed from magnesium. Therefore, magnesium oxide undergo reduction. And hydrogen chloride is converted to H2O. Therefore, hydrogen and chloride undergo oxidation. So, this is also an example for redox reaction. Now, I think you understand what is redox reaction and what do we mean by oxidation and reduction. Go through all these equations. These all equations are example for redox reactions. So, we have completed about all the different types of chemical reaction. Now, we are going with the last section of this chapter, that is corrosion. Corrosion, as you all know, what is corrosion? Usually the metals, when it combines with atmosphere, when it reacts with the, or when it directly comes in contact with the atmospheric oxygen and moisture, it will get destructed gradually. This process is called a corrosion. So corrosion is the gradual destruction of metals by the attack of atmospheric air and moisture. So different metals get corroded in different ways, or different compounds are formed as a result of corrosion. Corrosion. So corrosion is the gradual destruction of metal. During corrosion, different metals are converted to different compounds. For example, silver. Silver undergo corrosion to form silver sulfide. Similarly, copper undergo corrosion to form basic copper carbonate. The formula is CuCO3 dot CuOH2. This is the formula of basic copper carbonate. And iron. Iron undergo corrosion to form ferric oxide plus water. Along with ferric oxide, water drops are also present. So, this is called a hydrated ferric oxide. So, iron undergo corrosion to form hydrated ferric oxide. And the corrosion of iron is particularly known as rusting. So, what is rusting? Corrosion of iron is called rusting. Iron undergo rusting to form hydrated ferric oxide. So, this is the formula of rust. This is the formula for rust. Fe2O3 dot X H2O. X represents the number of water molecule. So, corrosion is the gradual destruction of metal due to the attack of atmospheric air and moisture. Silver undergo corrosion to form silver sulfide. Copper form basic copper carbonate. Iron form hydrated ferric oxide. Now there are different methods to prevent corrosion. The most common method is painting. We are painting iron articles because the painting will destroy the direct, or painting will cut the direct contact of metal with the atmospheric oxygen, air, moisture, etc. So painting is one of the common method adopted to prevent corrosion. Similarly, we are also doing greasing. Greasing also cuts the direct contact between metal and atmospheric oxygen. Then galvanization. Galvanization is similar to painting, but here a coating with the zinc is done. So galvanization is the coating of metal with the zinc. Alloying. Alloying is the combination of metals with another metal or non-metals that will also prevent corrosion. So these are some of the common methods adopted to prevent corrosion. The last topic here we are discussing is rancidity. Rancidity is the oxidation of food items containing fat and oil. You know that the food containing fat and oil, when kept for a long time, a foul smell and a change in taste will be observed or will be found. That process is called the rancidity. So rancidity is the oxidation of food items containing fat and oil. As a result, a foul smell and a change in taste is obtained. We can prevent rancidity by keeping the food items in airtight containers. That will help to prevent oxidation. Also, in so many items, so many food packed food items, you have seen that antioxidants are added. Antioxidants will slow down the process of rancidity. And the packed food items such as chips, etc., the packet will be flushed with nitrogen gas. The nitrogen gas will also help to prevent rancidity. That is why food items containing packets of chips are flushed with nitrogen in order to prevent rancidity. So rancidity is the oxidation of food items containing fats and oils. We can prevent rancidity by keeping food in airtight containers, using antioxidants, or flushing with the nitrogen gas. With this, we came to the end of chapter 1. Along with reading the textbook, try to do all the index question and exercise question.